Welcome everyone. It's been a minute. I'm lying. It's been several minutes. Hours, weeks, and months as well. But nevertheless, I have returned, and I've returned with friends. We have Christian over there. We have another friend. That's Get Us, AKA Get Ass, for obvious reasons. And we're going to be doing a pull workout. Transparently, as the spit flies out of my mouth, I don't know how much we're going to get on camera. I know for sure we're going to get the first half. So we're going to be doing weighted pull-ups, deficit one-arm dumbbell rows, and then we're also going to do seated shrugs, a whole mess of curls, some forearms, and maybe even some calves. Again, I don't know how much is going to make it on to this video, but either way, stay tuned. We got a lot of knowledge nuggets, a lot of entertainment, a lot of technique inspiration, and just an overall good, fun, family-friendly atmosphere. So stay tuned. So now we're walking over to go do weighted neutral grip pull-ups. When you're doing pull-ups, pick whatever grip you like. Whatever grip feels the most comfortable on your elbows. Whatever grip yields the least pain in a bad way and the most pain in a good way. For me, that's neutral grip pull-ups. Overhand, underhand, it's all fair. It's all fair in love and fitness. We're gonna be starting, again over here, 4 sets of 7 to 10 reps. When you're starting neutral grip pull-ups, or any kind of pull-up, you can start warming up by doing pull downs, so you're starting as light as possible, and then sort of progress to body weight, and if you're strong enough to add load, then small graded progressions in load, set over set. We are not going to be doing that. We are all going to start with body weight, and we're gonna go from there. When we warm up as well, I like to save as much juice as I can for the real show. So we're only gonna be doing anywhere from 3 to 5 reps within each of our warm-up sets to sort of acclimate to the movement pattern, mentally get ready, raise our body temperature, but not get too tired for the real shit. So let's do some shit. Just starting with body weight, that was 6 reps, making sure I'm going all the way down, pausing in the most stretched position, and you can pull up all the way like we're doing, chest to bar. You can pull up nose to the bar, halfway up. What's really most important here, as you'll see Christian do and Get Us do, is they're just making sure they're going all the way down as much as they can. However high they come up is however high they come up. But of course, whatever height you're going to, be consistent.
Hey, yo.
Look at these men. I'd probably be saying a lot of technique tips, but I self-selected these guys because I know that they're all fucking great. So I don't really have to give much technique tip here. Yeah, so just watch the greatness, honestly. At this moment in time, I'm in the middle of a weight gain phase. So I'm about 14 or so pounds up from my photo shoot. If any of you saw those photo shoot photos, I think they're pretty cool. On Instagram, Shimmy93, follow me there. I've got about probably a month and a half more of massing. We'll gain about 5 or 6 more pounds. Go from there. Yeah, that's where we're currently at. So training is going fantastically. I'm feeling very strong. I will be going for PR today. Not because the camera's here, but also the camera's here, which is nice. And we'll see how it goes. So now, what we're all going to be doing is something called the potentiation set. And I've explained what this is before, but I'll explain it again. Potentiation is where you use either the working weight of the day or about 5% more than the working weight of the day for anywhere from 1 to 3 repetitions, just to really prime your nervous system for what's ahead and to make sure that you're going to do it, that it's going to feel good. A lot of times, we go into harder training sets with the first set sort of not feeling so good and the second set then really having the groove. Doing a potentiation set sort of allows for that not to happen, so everything feels quote unquote good from rep 1, set 1. So I'm gonna do 1 to 3 reps here of what my theoretical working weight for the day is gonna be. 2, that's it. Just to make you feel nice and spicy, nice and saucy, nice and flavorful. Goes without saying, people, when you're doing your pulling training, use straps. If you want to train grip, train your grip doing grip-specific things. If we're here to train back, train the back as efficiently, as intelligently as you can, use straps. We're going to be using straps on everything. If you want to train your grip, do grip-specific things. If you want to train your back, do back-specific things. That's all. I failed. I failed. That is called technical failure. So last week, I did 70 pounds for 9,776. So I expected to do 8 this week. I got 7. All right, you know, it's not great, but it's okay. So what I'm going to do, the rep range is 6 to 10. I'm going to do one more set of this. Most likely, I'm gonna get 6 or 7, and then I will actually, we're gonna do 4. And then I'm actually more than likely gonna drop the load slightly to get back in the rep range in question. Because if you're in a range, well, anything that's close to the bottom is no good. So you end up getting higher in the range. Not the end of the world. I'm going to be going into down sets. I did 75 pounds on the first 2 sets. My rep range was 7 to 10, 6 to 10. I got 7, 6. I am not confident that if I stayed with the same weight, that I would still be able to stay within the guardrails of that rep range. So I simply reduced the load by 20%. So now I have 60 pounds strapped to my cake. And now I'm gonna pull up and I'm gonna do more reps while this is strapped to my cake. 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 Yay babs. Yay babs. Randy Daytona. Anthony, you know Randy Daytona?
Nah.
You ever seen Balls of Fury? The ping pong movie?
Yeah.
Randy Daytona was the fat main character.
Oh, okay.
We were playing ping pong the other day, and Christian hit me with the Randy Daytona, and I died.
That's hilarious.
On the topic of your reps dropping set over set, I would argue that if you're able to match your reps set over set, especially over the course of multiple sets, your technique and your effort, specifically your effort, may not be as good as it can be. I'm not saying that you need to go from doing 12 or something on a first set to 7, but so long as you're taking a reasonable rest period and outputting reasonable effort, there's going to be some 1 to 2, even 3 repetition drop off set over set, and that is okay. That is why when you're programming, you should program repetition ranges. 8 to 12, 6 to 10, 15 to 20, to account for that fatigue. Don't try to match reps set over set. So we just finished 4 sets of weighted pull-ups. There's definitely a nice pumperucci in the back. Now we are moving on to deficit 1-arm dumbbell rows. So we trained lat width. Now we're gonna move on to lat thickness. So I will explain to you all how to properly do this exercise because I'm sure it's going to be very foreign to a lot of you. And it does, fortunately or unfortunately, require some setting up. So I will show you. We're now gonna move on to deficit 1-arm dumbbell rows. Now, if you're not using a thicker dumbbell, you don't have to stand on a deficit because you're gonna be able to maximize the end range. However, if you're decently strong and you're gonna use a thicker dumbbell, maybe an 80-pound dumbbell or more than likely, you are not going to be able to maximize the end range before the dumbbell hits the floor. So, we stand on a box. Now, I'm gonna set up here, holding a preloaded bar, standing on here. Is it obnoxious? I won't lie to you, it's a little obnoxious. If you're in a busy gym, you probably can't get away with this setup. Now, could you just row off a rack or off a bench? You can. However, if you're not in such a busy gym or you have access to something like this with some space, I implore you to try it. It's really, really good. So, hand on the bar in front of you. I'm gonna walk my feet back. So I'm almost gonna get in like a 3-point stance if I was an American football lineman or something. And I'm going to grab the dumbbell. Go as low as I possibly can. Pause and row up. And I'm making sure my upper body stays positioned down. I'm not twisting. And I'm only rowing to the point that feels most comfortable for me. You can row to your hip, your nipple, your rib, your belly button, wherever you like, just be consistent. For me, I feel most comfortable rowing to my rib. If you want it, you don't even have to row all the way up. The beauty in this exercise is in the tension and stretch. If you only wanted to focus on that and row halfway up or 2/3 of the way up, that is okay as well. Of course, if you are gonna do that, just make sure that's your plan and you're not just heaving weight just to heave weight. Quick commercial break from this riveting workout that I know you've been enjoying. If you'd like to get jacked, if you'd like to lose body fat, I can help you. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, SHIMMY93, and we will see. We, as in me, myself, and I, will see if we can help you out. A word to the wise, when you do this, I'm sure most of you don't train rotational exercises. I certainly don't. When you do this, even if you stay completely static, be prepared for your obliques to be very sore. The first few times that I did this after not doing it for a while, my obliques were destroyed. Just warning you, just in advance.
So you see, he likes to take more of an ostrich type stance. An ostrich type stance when he does this. My accent has now been transferred. I've now gone from Steve Irwin to Steve Cohen.
Anthony asked me, why did we do only the right side and now we're gonna do only the left side? Of course you can go right arm into the left arm, but when you're training it in this way, you're not going to just go one arm to the other. You're gonna have to take a regular rest period because it's just difficult. So I find it's more comfortable, especially when you're training with training partners, just handle everything on the right side because you're already kind of locked in there mentally, and then handle everything on the left side. It also gives you a much more reasonable rest period too for each arm. Instead of you resting too long, right arm, left arm, partner goes, you know.
Wow, bringing another camera to the shoot is crazy, Gators. That's crazy, bro. The disrespect is real, man.
It's like two lions in the savannah. And like one lion smelled the other male lion and was like, you can't shit here. It's my shit. G asked me, should we start with the weaker side first? Because we're weaker on the left side. There's two minds about that. On the one hand, you can, because if you're weaker, you're doing it when you're fresher. On the other hand, you start with your stronger side first. Mentally, you bank a lot of confidence, where if you crush the stronger side, you're more excited and you're more confident going into the weaker side. Whereas if you start with the weaker side, and let's say it doesn't go the way you want, when you go to your stronger side, you're not gonna be as excited. And that matters in training. I can confidently say I've never heard someone groan and grimace on a one-arm row before. I've never heard someone do that, ever. That must have hurt. Imagine if you were like, no, not so much. No, it was the old guy. Fred.
When I was with him. Mentally. Felt his pain.
Yes.
DJ Tony, ladies, this your jam. I will sip Moscato, you will work my pants.
I will sip Moscato, you will work my pants. I will throw my money, you will do it without a hand. No, because I want to make my reference and I couldn't make it and he knew.
What's the howler?
Oh,
Do that?
you did it on the first set, like 4 times.
I think it was that big guy. I don't know what you're talking about.
You didn't do it.
I do like,
Hold on. Are you fucking with me? It really wasn't you?
No.
The first set, he didn't grimace like.
That's the big guy.
Are you fucking with me?
That's serious.
I was right there. Am I being?
I thought it was him too.
Yeah, am I being fucked with?
No, there's a big dude over there.
There was no big dude over there.
That's what I was saying. Oh yeah, I'm with you.
We finished the back portion of this workout. Neutral grip pull-ups weighted, deficit one-arm dumbbell rows. We are now moving on to traps. Yeah? Seated dumbbell shrugs is what we're gonna do in around the 10 to 15 rep range. Maybe a little bit higher, but roughly there. With seated dumbbell shrugs, there's really nothing to it. You sit down with the dumbbells, you push your arms down as much as you can to stretch your traps, and then you shrug up only as high as you can keep your arms straight. Once you notice your arms are going to bend, that's too high. Only as high as you can maintain straight arms. And that's really it. It's very simple. I don't want to get you too excited, but you can use a fair bit of weight when you do this. This is not meant for really, really light weights because it's very simple. And that's all. Make sure to use straps. Tune in. Sure, you may not have to train traps directly, and if you're an early stage intermediate or beginner lifter, you'll probably get enough hypertrophy or muscle growth in your traps from back training, from lateral raising, pull-ups, deadlifts, the like. However, if you've been training for, let's say, 5 years or more, pretty hard, and you're not satisfied with the trap development that you currently have, it would make sense to train the traps directly. And the best way to train traps directly is probably through simple shrug variations. Dumbbell, barbell, Smith machine, trap bar, things of that nature. I usually always train my traps on back days for myself because I found that my traps are not growing as much as I would like through just doing all of the other exercises that I named. So for me, I deemed it necessary based on my needs analysis, which you should do, that I should train traps directly. And if you feel that you need a needs analysis, you don't want to think about training, you want somebody that thinks about training enough to think about training for you, you can reach out to me on Instagram, shimmy93, shoot me a DM. You can reach out to me on any of my social platforms, here, TikTok, Threads, Fabrics, Silks, whatever. LinkedIn, basically just put the bat sign in the sky with the S, I'll appear, and I'll help you do your training. I'm laughing too. It's not every day that you grab the 150s, but I did the 145s last week, so I'll get them for like 15. All right, strap up. Yeah, so this is all filmed in real time. I did that set. It was a good set, but after I put the weight down, got some water or whatever, my upper back felt oddly tight, like a little bit tighter than it should. So rather than me trying to force another set or see how it goes, I train all the time. It's not gonna matter if I call this exercise short. Just like for any of you, if you do one set of something and it feels a little bit off, just stop. Just move on to the next thing. You'll be there next week. You'll be training tomorrow. The dumbest thing that you can all do is do an exercise where you know you feel a bit off, but you try to do it anyway. For what? Who cares? We're all here for fun. You come here to look good and feel better. You don't come here to be a dunce. So if something feels off, don't force it. Just move on to the next thing. Your muscle's not going anywhere. I promise you. We are moving on to a curling variation. We're going to be doing a 2-arm dumbbell preacher curl. Not sure if any of you have tried this one before. It's really nice. It's not better than any of the other ones you know, but it's really, really nice, especially if you don't have the best elbows. So maybe if you're more higher level intermediate or advanced trainee or something, because this allows you to have more freedom with your wrist position and where you want to angle the weight. So you can find the angle that's more comfortable for your elbows. Basic principles on here. We go all the way down. We're trying to do a full range of motion here, so we're curling up pretty much as high as we can comfortably. We go down slow. We're gonna do this in the 10 to 15 rep range for anywhere from 3 to 4 sets. You don't need to keep the dumbbells together or anything. I know some people will do that, like flush together. You don't have to do that.
When you ever do preacher curls, towards the end, do you ever feel like the effort you put into curl the weight is almost like, I mean, I don't want to compare it maybe to a hack squat, but it feels like I'm pushing leg press type effort.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
I get it, but the thing is that, so I understand where you're coming from.
But like, that's like.
But after you do it, the difference is like.
Oh, the fatigue afterwards, you're like, I'm good.
Correct.
Yeah, I know.
As I say, like the dismount.
Yeah. The last two reps,
from
you're like,
that hack
oh
is-
my god,
yeah.
oh my god, it feels like I'm pressing a hack squat. But then you let go, you're like, I'm good. Hack squat, you're like, ha 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 ha. You're like going to a seizure.
Yeah. Yeah. Train it at least twice a week with good exercises, pristine technique, and better than average effort. You don't have to train to failure. You don't really have to train that hard. You just don't really need to train that easy. Again, pick exercises that you feel, pick exercises that allow for significant amount of tension in the stretch position. Again, things you already know. Preacher curl variations, incline dumbbell curls, standing and seated dumbbell hammer curl variations, barbell curls. If you're into cable curls, that's great. Anything in moderate rep ranges, 6 to 10, 8 to 12, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. Start with the least amount that allows you to get pumped, disrupted, and moderately sore. And as recovery allows, add sets and weight from there. That's it.
Let's get like that, and then station.
Okay.
The outro.
Yeah, you guys can stand next to me, it's fine. We want to thank you all for stopping by. We had a wonderful time. I hope you had a wonderful time watching us have a wonderful time. It was a pull workout. So to recap, we did weighted neutral grip pull-ups, we did deficit one-arm dumbbell rows, seated dumbbell shrugs, and two-arm dumbbell preacher curls. It was a mouthful, it was a tough session, it was a great session. I hope that you learned things. We enjoyed showing you things. Now, it's your job to do the things. You subscribe to my YouTube page, The Shim Show. You follow me on all socials, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Silks, Fabrics, LinkedIn, anywhere that I am, you go be at. MySpace, his place, his face, yes. And if you enjoyed seeing these guys, Get Us Aesthetics on Instagram, Christian CS Fit on Instagram, Apex Gym Fort Lauderdale, Anthony behind the camera, the Avengers? Question mark? You decide. See you later.